ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the queendom herself. It's the Melball. How you doing?
Am doing great. Jay, it was a day of like self-harm in a nice way. Uh, in a nice way. I did a leg day at the gym. I started a new routine that my friend Donnie told me about, and it's kicking my ass in a good way. Cause god dang. But I also got inked today. Shout out to the lovely. Oh, that one's not looking so nice, but this one. Shout out to Levi Dawn at Stray Cat Tattoos. She does an awesome job. These are my second, third, and fourth tattoo with her. So you can obviously see I trust her with my canvas. How are you doing today, my friend?
Worked. My job sucks. We're in liquidation mode at my store, so it's depressing because it's coming to an end, and I don't know if I have a job come the middle of February. And yeah, just everybody's annoying, and some people are kind of a-holes. So that's my day. But I got to watch. But what made it good is I woke up super early this morning and watched most of this show that finished. Like I watched a good see 75% of the show starting at like 5:30 a.m. this morning. So
Jesus.
yeah. So the show we're going to talk about is the January 3rd Triangle Derby and Rookie of the Year uh, tournaments, both one-day tournaments this year. Triangle Derby last year was a full like month and a half long tournament. This year they did it in one day.
Yeah, yeah. Arguably a few less teams than they would probably like to have, though, at this time, I think.
Hmm.
Because we still have some pretty substantial injuries, people out on injury. Momokogo's still gone. We haven't seen Waka in a hot minute. Tom Nakano is gone. Natsupoi is gone. We are down some ladies. So I think it was, though maybe a little chaotic on paper, I think it actually turned out pretty decently, given what ended up happening, which we will talk about.
Yeah. I think this year the one day tournament made sense with all the, like you said, all the injuries. So it allowed them to bring it down a little bit and let it like it's again all these girls. If you just this many teams, this tournament would be done in like a week, in maybe two. And again, I think this is better just to do this one day and then go on your tour.
Yeah, because we got some stories to tell. We had a big shakeup at the end of the year there, with Micah winning
Yeah.
that world championship. We had a couple other championships exchange hands there. So yeah, a lot of shakeup, and I think this is going to be a year for a lot of build for Stardom, where I think they're going to start to see more of an introduction to this international kind of market with their kind of workings with NJPW, hopefully maybe some workings with AEW, and there's so many potentials.
Well, and there's now the rumors that WWE is looking to, like, they just had Charlie Dempsey at All Japan Pro Wrestling, and they're looking to
Mm,
move into the market of working with some women's wrestling companies. And Stardom is one of them, but like there's also Tokyo Joshi Pro and multiple Ice Ribbon, multiple others they can work with. So there's
mm,
always that potential, especially if Julia goes there. That creates she has friends there. That creates a pathway for
absolutely.
them. So
Let's
again,
talk about the other way around, though. Bringing people over here, training them with people like Utami Hayashishita, or could you imagine people training with Nane? Nane
mhm.
Takahashi's still freaking giving her. Like,
well,
she would probably train some future champions.
Megan Bayne is the perfect example of
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Because again, she came in last summer, and I'll admit, when she was first here, she was a little bit rougher than, but she like
Mhm.
over these last 6 months has because I think she's gotten so good in this ring. Like she wasn't bad when she started. She wasn't bad, but you can see her. She's adapted so well to working with these women, and that's the best thing about these American companies wanting to work with companies over here because it gets your people a lot better, like more experience.
That versatility with the diversity within the styles. It's just
Yeah.
so good.
Heck yeah. So we are going to get in. Oh, we're also going to be talking the two matches from the January 4th show that we
Mhm.
watched live with our boy Andreas, which was the Stardom Gate show right before Wrestle Kingdom. We're not going to, I don't have notes for those because we just watched them live and enjoyed it. We're just going to talk about some of the results coming out of this and some things, just opinions on what that show did. So let's get
Mhm.
into it. Right off, starting up with the Triangle Derby. I love
Yeah.
just basic logo. I like this the same logo from last year. I was like, I like it, just simple.
It's nice, it's classic.
Although the red should be orange and the white should be pink. If you really think about it, because it's for the artist belts. So you would think the colors would match the belts.
That's a valid point. That is a valid point. It would also make the graphics a lot more unique too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's just little nitpicks, right? This match never actually ended up happening as Miyu Amasaki is out ill, or I should pretty sure it said she was ill. So this match was a forfeit win for Donna Del Mundo. So they move on automatically to the semifinals. So yeah, we're just skipping this match. But I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see it, but you know,
Yeah. But good for them for actually doing something and then not making her fight sick, because that could have
yeah.
potentially spelled danger for everybody else.
True. So we move on. The first match in the Rookie of the Year, the Rookie of Stardom tournament. The first match, also one of the semifinal matches. This is just a four-lady tournament, just four. It's Yuzuki taking on Rana Yamagi. Really good wrestling from both early on. They're both like the forearm strikes from both these girls looked really good. Rana gets a beautiful kick to the back for two. Then she's really working that armbar. She transitions in that armbar so well.
Yes.
Yeah, the strikes they're trading back and forth at center were just awesome. Trading slams back and forth. Rana really hits these vicious chest kicks. She's got to be learning from Syuri here, I'm thinking. Um, and she drops Suzuki, gets her in another armbar. They trade pins. And then Rana gets another armbar, but Yuzuki gets to the ropes. And then Yuzuki grabs the hand, like old school style, like Taker runs up the ropes and jumps off into a like almost like a bulldog, which I really
Mhm.
liked. And then they trade roll ups, and Yuzuki gets the win.
Mhm. This was a fun little match. To kind of I saw Rona before when she had that match against, I believe it was Suri, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, incredible match. Very, very similar to Inaba. I think and Suri in this, in that she does have that incredible martial arts background, which she loves to display, and I'm kind of living for it because she has a different look in comparison to the other three participants in this tournament. In that Rana, I think, is right now the only one of the four that could be a heel. I feel she's got that look, she's got the intensity, but just with her fighting stance, it looks heelish. I love it. But I think she could also go, she's one of those people who could go back and forth very easily. Something like I might miss the comparison on this, but I think like Charlotte Flair, she goes back and forth between heel and face very easily. I feel that Rana could do the same thing. And her look is already a little Oedo Tai-ish, wouldn't you say, with the purple and the Harley Quinn kind of
well,
thing on there? I
the
feel like
purple,
Oedo Tai would be the perfect team to nurture her.
the purple and yellow. I was thinking for like it really reminds me of Momo Watanabe.
Mhm. Yes,
It looked
exactly. And Momo also has that strike and martial arts background. And then combine that with the intensity and the power with the tutelage, if you will, from Natsuko Tora, from Ruaka, from someone even like Fukigen Death could probably teach her a thing or two. Even Rina. Rina would be a great influence. Um, just overall, I think she would fit in really well with the way to tie. And I feel that she has that charisma and personality in her that would allow her to make that work really, really well for her. I think she's going to do very, very well because the experience that she's already showing is absolutely incredible. It's like she's been already doing this for a few years. Um, with I have to look over to say her name properly, Yuzuki. The chemistry between the two of them was so radically different. Where Yuzuki is more very much a tried and true baby face. I could not see her as anything but a baby face, but she does it very well. She already looks the part. She already looks like a Queen Crest member. Not gonna lie, like she looks like a little Miyu, a little kind of soldier for her. Um, I felt that that chemistry, that potential healness with that baby faceness worked so well together, and they were able to find this insane chemistry that just I wasn't expecting out of a rookie match. I was very, very impressed with this.
Mm. I thought both really impressed me. I think a little more for me from Ranna than from Miyu, but both did absolutely tremendous here.
Mhm. I have to agree. Yeah, Rana's been very impressive.
We move on. It's the second match in the Rookie of the Year tournament. It's Hanako versus Sayaka Karura. Karura. Uh,
Hurrah.
Karura.
I
Or
love how they say it
sorry,
so quickly. It sounds like hurrah.
sorry, it's Kurara. Kurara.
Hurrah.
Kurara. Kurara. Kurara.
Rah, rah.
Sayaka trying to attack early, but Hanako just using her size, dominating early. The slam, the attacks in the corner. Sayaka does come back with a springboard drop kick, unloads kicks to Hanako, and she finally does get a 2 count. Hanako slams her down, gets a jumping knee drop for 2. Sayaka just jumping on her back a couple times, going for that rear naked choke. But Hanako just does that like, and flips her off her back. Just eats her across. Sayaka does come back hitting a spear for 2. Hanako gets a scoop slam, but gets rolled up on a suplex attempt for 2. Hanako hits the big boot, applies a torture rack, slams her in the corner, hits the big boot, then the delayed suplex, and she gets the win. And with the ultimate sign of sportsmanship, this girl helps Sayaka out of the ring and carries her to the back.
Which was hilarious given the size difference. Because Hanako's trying to put her arm around her neck, and Sayaka's like at a full extension with her arm trying to touch her neck. It was adorable. Um, yeah, this one, I forgot to mention the first one too. Also, a sportsmanship start for both of these matches. Both girls shaking hands with each other, being very, very nice. I really like that because there was a lot of those this night, and then a few not so nice starts later. There was that corner spot where Hanako was spearing Sayaka in the back. Very much reminded me of Megan Bayne, very Bayne inspired. But that looked very brutal, and I would almost say like a little questionable. I don't know if she. The thing I like about Hanako, and that I noted in this match, is that she is very efficient at doing things by the book. There is a way that she does her suplexes. There's a way that she does her, body slams. She is very by the book. Sometimes, because she is being so by the book, the moves seem to take a few seconds longer because she's making sure that it's doing what it needs to do, which is not a problem. I personally like it because it also shows off her strength, but it can also because she was doing this with this particular spearing move, I worry when she starts to gain confidence with it and gets going on it like Bayne does, which is very aggressive. I worry that it could potentially cause injury, especially if someone takes a hit and goes, ooh, and tries to move sideways and they accidentally take it sideways instead of to the back or to the stomach. That being said, though, again, she did it at a speed enough that it looked good, but also to the trained eye safe. Um, But there's that spear that Sayaka did to Hanako later in the match that was just sudden, quick, and actually showed like she was very, very powerful, taking down Hanako just as easily as Hanako was taking down her at that point. Yeah, the big boots by Hanako. She's so good at those. She's very, very good at what she does. She's a very good wrestler. And her facial expressions have also grown a lot in the last couple months. She used to be a little kind of plain faced. She'd just kind of be making the same face throughout the entire match. We've seen this diversity and variety of facial expressions starting to emerge in the last couple of months, which I love seeing that. That's a sign of a well rounded wrestler. Love it.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted there. Excuse me. Yeah, I thought these two, and it really showed the experience that Hanako does have too. That she's been around a little while. Like this, she's been here for most of 2023. So she's really shown how good she actually is in getting to really almost lead this match, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Again, both look great. I'm looking forward to seeing both of these girls this year.
Mhm.
So we get a singles match out of two partners that were partners in the Triangle Derby. We get Hina versus Lady C. Love the half Beetlejuice pants on Lady C.
Yes, her new gear has been top notch.
hmm I really enjoyed it. I like how she's going Zack Ryder with like pant on one side and like short with different leg on the other side.
Oh,
Right,
yes.
yeah. Hina with the arm drags and the drop kicks, gets the Fujiwara armbar, but Lady C has a really good like just rolling transition out of it. Like look like didn't have to go to the ropes, just did a rolling transition out. Lady C gets Hina up. She goes spinning, and she goes spinning until she just finally falls over.
Yeah.
She then gets a huge big boot and a shoulder block for two. They're trading forearms in the center, and then Hina hits a beautiful judo toss for two. Russian leg sweep, and then the knee drop by Lady C for two. Hina hits that Uranage for two, then applies the armbar into the disarmer. But this is where Lady C has to fight and get to the ropes. Choke slam by Lady C, but she can only get two. Gato clutch by Hina for two. Then Lady C hits the lariat and the blue thunder bomb, and she gets the win.
This was a fun match. Considering you know that this was probably thrown together like last second, it
Mm-hmm.
was a really good match. Um, the spin, it's another sportsmanship start, just pointing out. Obviously, though, team members, if there wasn't, there might be some problems.
Mm.
Um, I think Queen's Quest's problems are good for now. Um, the spin until she falls was hilarious. Because I'm used to seeing people like Cesaro, or sorry, what's his face? Claudio, um, or Risa Sera, who like have it going and release and throw. It was really funny to see Lady C just pretty much collapse on her opponent. Very, very smooth, very elegant move.
I
The
well
choke slam by Lady.
well too I like that she does it because she's still young in her career. Only a couple of, like she's still young in her career. I like that she doesn't have that perfection to it, and then she gets off balance and she falls. I like that almost, and as she does it over the years, I think she's gonna get better. It's gonna get better and better as it
I
evolves. Yeah,
think what her problem is that she leans forward.
yeah.
She leans forward instead of backwards and counterweighting the person on the front, so she
Mm.
can't maintain the spin as long or as high. But, as you mentioned, it will be something that comes with repetition and experience for sure. Uh, or was it? Oh, yeah, the last one, choke slam. Choke slam from Lady C was very authoritative. Very well done. Looked great. It was a nice little singles match for the show.
Yeah, even though they lost their chance in the derby, I'm really happy they got to show at least both got to get showcased on the show.
Same, same.
So we move on. Gonna get to the Triangle Derby. We started out Crazy Star and Mesa and Suzuki teaming up with Megan Bayne. taking on Queen's Quest Azumi, Sayaka Kamitani, and Utami, Hayashishita. Really good match. Azumi slapping Bayne at the beginning.
My first note is Azumi making some questionable life choices, bringing out the
Oh,
sassy pants against Megan Bayne.
it
Not
just,
smart, but good for her being the smallest person on her team
yeah.
and going out there and being exactly what I would think Astrid Pizarro would be in this kind of fight and being like, "You think you can step to me? Come on, girl, we
That's
going."
that's what I
It
imagine
was
you would do.
hilarious, but it worked.
I would imagine you doing that too. uh,
Probably me running my mouth and getting myself in trouble. Yeah.
yeah, Bane literally just catches her off the top and tosses her across the ring. Some other good spots. Suzu gets the running knee to the face of Asubi in the corner. Looked just rough. Just oh Jesus. Suzu gets the nasty German to Sayaka Matani. It's the drive by drop kick on the floor, then gets a 2 count. Um, Bane comes in at one point, just wrecking house on Azumi and Saya, splashing both in the corner, then getting them both up in the Samoan and fall away and just eating them both. Just no problem. Utami trying to attack Bane, but Bane just dominating her. Gets a fall away slam for 2. Uh, Sai and Utami double team Bane, but Bane hits the flying lariat to Utami, but she comes back with a beauty, and I'm saying beauty, release German.
Yes. That's a
Hmm.
no.
Yeah. Uh, Azumi and May. Oh, so good. They did high speed, and it was phenomenal.
Perfection. It was so
Yeah.
quick. These two need to
So
fight for that title.
yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that match to come up. Um, yeah, May gets a beautiful springboard headhunter to Azumi for 2. It's a flying. Azumi gets a flying arm drag and the drop kick. For 2, hits the top rope stomp. The pin gets broken up. May and Azumi are trading pins, rolling around. Utami and Azumi hit that sunset. Like she sunset flips Utami, who she sunset flips her through, while Utami's Germaning May, and it just looks so good. And then she pulled the Azumi sushi for 2. Um, Bane hits a big boot, and or they hit her and Suzu hit the German big boot combo. Just like Bane just boots Nave and Suzu hits that German to Izumi. May gets the jackknife for 2. They start trading Germans. Excuse me, and they're going for pinfalls, but then the time limit expires. Both teams are eliminated.
Bullshit. I was not happy with this. Mainly because this is like the two people who I thought should be in the finals. Like that fizzity yuck is this. Um, yeah. Dark hair on Suzu though. I mean, I've told you before, I'll say it again. She changes the hairstyle, it'll depend on what Suzu you're getting. We got all dark Suzuki. We got dark hair, dark eye, dark lip Suzuki. That's the darkest we've seen in a bit. This is getting back to her prominence, Suzuki. So I don't think it's going to be much time before we start to see that Suzuki come out again, which I'm not going to be mad about. Not going to lie. I would love to see that intensity. Yeah, the sassy start with Asmi and Bane was just a treat. I really did enjoy that. It was a questionable choice on Asmi's part, but led to some pretty good in-ring exchange there. Um, I did enjoy how, I mean, we know how fast Asmi is. It's very hard to catch her. I did like when she went to do the leg slide through Bane, that Bane was able to just reach down, catch her, pick her up, and yeet her. Feel bad for Asmi, but goddamn. Goddamn. Um, the May doing what I call the forever drop kicks in the corner there, I think on Azumi. where she just started doing drop kick and then hop up, drop kick. I don't know how many she did, but it was a lot. It was a lot. I love how Bayne reacts in the ring because a lot of these girls are quite petite in comparison. And there was one point, I believe it was Kamitani, did a double strike on her, like on Bayne and May Sarah. And Sarah sold in the inside out, as she should, because Kamitani does have a little bit of size on her. But Bayne just kind of took the hit and just kind of was like, ow, my boobies, and turned around and what was that for? And rocked Kamitani's world. I love how Bayne does that. How she doesn't oversell, but she doesn't no sell either. She always sells appropriately. And I think that that's something that she has picked up over in Stardom, working with these ladies. You mentioned the Nasty Plex, um, that diving lariat from Bayne with that German follow up was just perfection. The Utami is just so good. So good. I love that woman. I'm so happy she's back, and I'm happy we didn't lose her for too long. Um, very, very happy that her and Kamitani returned to pick up those Goddess of Stardom championships. Well deserved. I've been missing seeing these ladies with titles. It's been a hot minute since Quinn's Quest has had more titles. Because there was that point where Azumi and Kamitani were both champions. But we've been missing some gold. The queens need some gold.
I disagree that the queens need gold, but okay. All
Mm,
right. Yeah, I'm rude. That's who I am. You,
yes.
you know that from earlier today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
We move on. It's Oedo ties Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, and Starlight Kid taking on stars Hanan, Mayu Iwatani, and Iida. Hanan, Starlight Kid trading strikes early. Hanan hits the drop kick. Stars triple team Starlight Kid hits that triple drop kick. Hanan gets two. Um, yeah, Tora in hits a Samoan senton. It hits sentons to Hanan for two, and gets her in that rough looking Campbell clutch, and Momo comes in and like PKs her in the face. Oh,
Yeah.
so so brutal. Starlight Kid choking Hanan on the ropes with her knee. That's just she's just driving her in. Looked so good. Hanan
Mhm.
did fight back. Gets the judo toss to Starlight Kid. Um, Mayu comes in, hits a double arm drag to Tora and Momo. Stars hits the triple drop kick on the ropes, and Mayu then hits the Northern Lights to Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid goes into high speed attacking Mayu. She just hits and like just rocking her with move. Gets her down, standing moonsault. Sayaka comes in with Momo, chops to Momo, but Momo gets the hard chest kicks. Saya and Hanan double team Momo. And then Stars hits that triple team wheelbarrow facebuster thing that they do. I love that. They're just missing a Hazuki lung blower in there. Saya goes up, hits a top rope shoulder block, but the pin gets broken up. Momo with the big drop kick, but Saya hits the big lariat and gets it, and then gets double teamed by Tora and Starlight Kid, and Momo hits the running Meteora for two. Beautiful dude buster by Momo, but she can only get two on Saya. Mayu attacks. Iida comes in, hits the lariat she gets tagged in, hits a lariat for two, then gets the Iida Bashi for two. Um, Pandemonium with a bunch of people just attacking each other, coming in from every angle. The glorious,
Glorious chaos.
I was about to say, um, excuse me. And Starlight Kid and Momo double team Saya. Momo hits the inverted dude buster, and she gets the win. Great match.
Yes. Oh
Great
yeah.
match.
Oh yeah. This was a tremendous match. Couple things I wanted to mention. Tora. Yeah, so good. And I noticed something this match that I feel like I've always noticed, but I just never pointed out. she's got some Okada level-esque work ethic. And when I say that, when you watch an Okada match, Okada knows where each camera is and knows roughly based on where he is, which one is going to be on him. And he plays to that camera so well when he's wrestling. Tora does the exact same thing. She knows where every camera is. She knows all of her angles. She gets it in the right area. She puts everyone in holds in the right place. And she yells at the camera. She plays with the camera. She plays with the crowd. I love how much work she puts into her job and how much effort she puts into it to make it such a overall entertaining match and show. um, what next? The judo toss that Hanan did, she tossed so hard she turned herself inside out. Did you see that? She whipped her. I think she was expecting maybe someone not Starlight Kid, but like she went over and then landed on top of Starlight Kid and kept rolling. I was like, that was awesome. I've never thrown somebody so hard that I also threw myself. That's an accomplishment. Iida with those machine gun chops on Momo was tremendous, but Momo, holy hell, those kicks. I would have to rank her like number 3 in Stardom for those kicks. Holy heck. The first being Konami, because the second being Syuri, because again, Shudder. Eh. Soul snatchers, I call those. Um, yeah, the Momo picking up the win was shocking to me, actually. As much as I love Oedo Tai, I was expecting Stars to pick up the win. It actually got me very excited for the rest of the show when I saw them pick up the win. So yeah,
Yeah,
don't
I
have
agree
anything
with
else
you.
to add on.
I agree with you. I was a little surprised. I really thought Stars was going to move on in this, but I
Mhm.
like seeing Oedo Tai. Like, is getting a little more oomph, I guess, to them, right?
Yeah, I mean they're usually in the title picture in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So we move on. It's Oedo Tai. Fukigen Death Arena and Ruaka taking on God's Eye, Amisare, Mirai, and Syuri. Um, so Oedo Tai up two matches in a row. Got young Oedo Tai minus Fuki versus and I guess veteran Oedo Tai. Even though Starlight Kid's like 22,
Yeah.
she's just been she's just been
Um,
around for she's been around forever.
yeah, the experience that she has is heads and tails
Yeah.
above everyone else. Yeah.
So Fuki's in with Syuri early. She's playing to the audience, does her squat smoky spot. Syuri comes down, squats with her, but then stands up and throws the smoke on the mat and stomps it out. It was great.
And she was so serious about it too. That's what I love about her is that she wasn't sitting there like, I got your smoke, stomp it out. No, she was dead serious. There is a cigarette in my hand, and it is now on the ground, and I am squishing it out. She was so intense. I loved it.
It sold it so well, and she was back in
Yeah,
her older red gear, and it
loved
kind
it.
of it worked to the 3 person team they have.
You know what
Um,
that means, though? They should have came in with the right music. Dun, 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 dun,
Powerpuff
dun.
Girls.
Yes, I wore the right shirt for the occasion.
Yeah, Syuri with these hard ass kicks to Rina, just brutal. And okay, Rina at one point she gets onto Syuri, gets this octopus. Then Ami runs in, but she like Rina slaps her and then pulls her in, and just with the one arm, like dragon sleepers her while holding the submission, the octopus on Syuri. I was like, that's good, that's good.
I thought that
Um,
was real ballsy. Not gonna lie. I mean, that's Suri, first of all, and then Ami sorry. Like,
yeah, Great combo spot. Rina hits this beautiful judo toss and tags Ruaka, and she comes in and hits this beautiful senton to Mirai. Mirai and Ruaka going back and forth with shoulder blocks. A way to tie triple team Ruaka with or triple team Mirai, and Ruaka hits the fisherman suplex, but the pin gets broken up. Miramare by Mirai, but Ruaka gets to the ropes. Tree slam by Ruaka, but she misses the freezer bomb off the top. And Mirai gets the Miramare again, but it gets broken up. God's Eye triple team Ruaka with the power bomb. Mirai hits the lariat, and they get the win.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel that there was any doubt. Um, Now I love Oedo Tai. And in particular, I really have become a huge fan of Ruaka. And I know you don't really like Fook, but I'm a big fan of Fook. She's a very, very accomplished, very experienced wrestler. And though you might not like how she dresses up, because it is terrifying, um, she's really good at what she does. Really, really good. Um, yeah, I don't really have a whole ton to add to this, minus the smoke spot at the beginning, which I found hilarious. Just so intense. It's super serious. Syuri is back. It's like, are we gonna have the situation like what we had with Osprey? When we get Moody Broody Osprey, we get Championship Osprey. Are we getting Moody Broody Syuri? That surprisingly rhymes as well.
Yeah, I'll give it to Fukigen Death. Fukigen Death is not her creepiest gimmick. It's fucking Billykin Death. That is the nightmare
Billiken?
upon Billykin is the nightmare among nightmares. That weird, I don't know.
She's
It just
the happy clown. How are you more scared of the happy clown than the angry clown?
because it's so much more unsettling. I don't know. Billykin makes
Listen
me
to what
go.
you're saying. The happy clown is unsettling. The
But so
demonic spawn of Satan's clown is okay.
well, at least it's weird. The happy clown is super unsettling, but the evil clown is kind of just a comedy joke. So it
Based on what I
bothers.
know about you, this shouldn't surprise me.
I have a weird thing with clowns, man.
This is something we have found out over the last couple of years.
The local clowns don't seem to bother me. I don't know what it is.
I don't know either.
Oh, and there's trust me, there's another clown. I'm like, oh, that looks cool in the local scene.
Yes, yes.
So we get an
Oh dear.
announcement. So we get announcements, and they announced that since the Crazy Star Bayne Bayne versus Queen's Quest match went to a draw, neither team is moving on, and Donna Del Mundo, the Mari Mari Bombers, get moved on to the finals without having to wrestle a second match. I was just like, how is this fair?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
Gato fix it. I don't know. It
Yes,
didn't make a whole lot of sense to me either.
and so the other Oedo Tai team just comes right back out. They don't even let Godseye go to the back. They're not even giving him a break. They're just like, nope, time to fight. I was like, you could have the match that came after this could have went in this spacing to give them a match break, but they're like, nope.
Yeah,
And this next match, while longer than the match previous, it didn't
it
have
didn't feel like it.
it what there wasn't truly a lot to it. So Oedo Tai attack before the bell. They brawl on the floor, brawling around
Also
the ring.
mention Utami joined commentary at this point. That's
She did.
important for this match.
Yes, it is true because there's something at the end of this. They're brawling around. Was it Starlight Kid took? I forgot to change the graphic. I apologize. Starlight Kid took, or this is it. Starlight Kid takes Ami to the back and then comes back out. I don't know why she just did. Um,
Distance.
yeah. Oh wait, it's a triple team. But Ami comes back out. They triple team her in the ring. Tora gets a splash for two. She goes into the Boston Crab. Ami gets to the ropes. Syuri and Mirai clean house with They hit a double code breaker to Tora, and Ami hits a Samoan for two. Ami gets the speed chops in the corner. She gets the suplex, gets the 2 count. This is where everything starts to fall apart. Starlight Kid gets the headlock, head scissors takeover to Ami and Syuri. Ueda tied triple team Ami and sends Godseye to the floor. Then Starlight Kid hits a dive to all of Godseye on the floor. Ami's being run into the chair. Everybody's being run into chairs by Ueda Tai. Um, they're all brawling. Ami finally gets back in at 17, but Starlight Kid's being impeded. She's the legal woman on Ueda Tai, and Mirai's keep grabbing the foot and not letting her get back to the ring. And Ueda Tai is counted out at 20. After everything we've watched in 2023, and this match ended on a countout, I was like, this ref is an a-hole.
Not only that, I'd like to point out that this is the second time God's Eye has done this in a situation. Remember how they won the Goddess of Stardom titles from Nane and Yu?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Needs to be a different team. Can't have that because they're starting to look like cheaters. I don't like that because they're
Yeah,
not. They're like
yeah.
the annoyingly honorable ones, you know? So I don't know. Gotta figure out
Yes.
how to fix that.
So
Um,
after the okay, I'm just gonna go to the aftermatch thing quickly here.
yeah.
I don't know who hit Utami. She was hit by somebody with a
Tora.
bat, or she was hit by Tora with the pipe. I didn't know who hit her. I didn't really notice it. But and she's just running around yelling that she got hit. And dude, it was so funny.
It was Tora. Because right when that happened, you could see Tora behind her, kind of running
Ah,
after her.
ah,
But yeah, and like how I learnt that Utami was on commentaries, they swung over to her while she was doing her introduction, and she's like, la 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 la, and then suddenly she goes, oh my God, reacting to something on the side there. And I was like, that is me. She is me, I am her. That'd be exactly what I would do in that situation.
mhm,
Um, the pick exchange by Syuri and Momo was brutal on the outside there. I think it was the second time when they were exchanging kicks was just, oh, again, number two and number three striker of this company taking turns on each other, and it was almost not phasing either one of them. It was mental. Um, yeah, I did not like the count out. Again,
mhm,
specifically, it is this team of God's Eye, combination of Ami and Mirai, that have caused this situation. Maybe it's because they're good at it. I don't know. But like, it's not, it's starting to turn my nose up. It's not something that I like. It's like a ball shot, like hitting the balls in wrestling. It's a cheap cop out for me. Um, that being said, though, the match was so much fun. I mean, this is the kind of shenanigans that I like to see that are efficient and not they weren't even nonsensical. They didn't even have somebody interrupting the ref or anything like that. It was just a straight up regular degular Oedo tie brawl, and I loved it. I am disappointed though to not see either Oedo tie faction in the semifinals, finals, in
mhm,
the finals, because like there's two teams from this faction that doubled their chances.
mhm.
Neither one made it. When
Yeah.
we know that either one could potentially.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we move on. We get a 4-on-4 tag match. It's like the odd pairing teams. You have
Mhm.
7 Up, Nana Takahashi and you teaming with Star Suzuki and Saki Kashima from God's Eye. Questionable team. But what's more questionable to me is Micah. This isn't who. It's not questionable who she's teaming up with. Teaming up with Cosmic Angels, Yuna Mizumori, and Sayori Anu, and they're teaming up with Mina Shirakawa. Mina and Anu have beef. So what?
Why though?
I don't
It's the
know.
question I was asking the most. Why though? It was the oddest thing because now Sayaka has something that Mina wants in that Wonder of Stardom title. Like, why? Like I get that you want them in the ring together, but like put her on the other side. Separate
Like,
cosmic angels. Put Hazuki over here. Put Sayaka over there. It was an odd. This was a mismatched team.
yeah,
Both of them.
but the other issue is like, you got to have Nane versus Mina because Nane it has issues with Mina after she's beat her a couple times in the last little bit. She's bet like so. There's that.
You
So,
pretty much just put Mina in the middle of a hostile situation. That's what you're saying.
or you could have went Hazuki, Kashima, Micah, and Mina versus Cosmic Angels and Seven Up. You could have done that.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
this was
I
an
don't know.
odd pairing, an odd decision. And oddly enough, I don't feel. Maybe I'll save that for the end. Go take us into the match. I'll say what I thought
Excuse me.
about that.
Excuse me. I apologize for the burp there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Team Hazuki gets the quadruple boot wash and running boots on the ropes, but Mina, when Saki was boot washing her, Mina slips out, gets Saki on the rope, and she joins the opposite team in doing the running boot. And then the other team realizes, oh shit, it's Mina, and they all attack her.
I mean, she was celebrating. I don't understand.
It was great, just because they realized, oh shit, she's on the other team, attack her. Uh,
Oopsie.
Yeah, a lot of really good stuff here. Hazuki hits a MX, and then Yu comes in with a beautiful scent on the Micah. Just a great little combo there. Micah actually trying to drop Yu with the shoulder blocks, but can't. And they trade them back and forth. Yu ends up dropping Micah. Mina and Nane are in. She's unloading on Nane. They're trading slaps. Nane gets the corner lariat and then the spine buster, turns it and then gets her in a twister submission. I was like, dang. Um, but Anu makes the save, which is the weirdest part of it all. Anu saving Mina. I'm like, what the? It just seems so weird to me after this
Anna just
past
doesn't
year.
like losing in general, I think is the thing.
Yeah, I think that's more what it is. Nane then bulldogs to both of them. Hazuki and Nane get them both in cross faces, but it's broken up. Mina gets the figure four on Nane, but Yu makes the save. Mina with the chest kicks, but Nane catches one, drops her, but Mina comes back with a suplex for two. Yuna comes in off the top for a splash to Nane. Um, she can't drop Nane and unloads shots in a drop kick. Sliding lariat, but the pin is broken up by Yu. A lot of good back and forth here. Saki gets quadruple teamed, and Yuna hits his beautiful top rope splash to her for two. Um, team, I wrote like a lot of the time when I'm doing teams, it was like Team Mina versus Team Hazuki and shit like that. Um, Team Mina gets all of them in the corner, but then Micah is giving it lariats to every single one. Saki comes back hitting head scissors, but Micah then comes back with a harsh lariat to Saki. The end of this, though, Yuna hits lariat Saki, hits the Death Valley driver, can only get two. Saki then reverses another lariat attempt in the Kishikase onto Yuna Mizumori, and Saki gets the win. Yeah, I was surprised by that one.
I'm starting to get annoyed seeing her do this because she's playing the like wimp card of the scared and then running in and rolling up people the last second. Like rude. Damn it. Get your butt kicked like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Um Entrances took a hot dang fracking minute. My God, everyone and their dog had a freaking entrance for this one. Oh, it was like watching Shota for like 8 times. Actually, you and Nane came in together, so that was merciful.
Hmm.
But like the rest was really unnecessary. Um, yeah, the Mina switching for the face wash spot was really funny. I really enjoyed that spot. Um, there's one point when Nane and Mina were trading strikes. I noticed Nane wasn't selling, and I didn't like it.
No.
Where's that passion you're screaming about? Sell to everybody, even if you have legit beef or just are trying to sell. There's better way to sell beef. That's a weird thing to proclaim. Um, yeah.
Oh man, all I can think of is this movie called Head of State, and this dude that sold meat out of his car.
Please don't take that further.
Well, he would literally
I
sell
don't
like
even
steak.
know what we're talking
He
about.
was. It's a movie from '04 with Chris Rock, and this one dude selling like steaks and ribs out of the trunk of his car. At least I
Sure,
think
sure.
that's the movie I'm thinking of. But
I sure hope so.
oh,
um, yeah, I didn't know how to feel about this match. It was an odd match thrown in an odd place. And what I was wanting to say at the beginning is that, usually something like this, there'll be some kind of purpose to it. And I didn't feel that there was. Even if there was, I don't feel that it was delivered to me. I didn't feel there was any story build, like maybe a tiny bit between Nina and Nane, but like otherwise it was just it I hate to say it was emotionless because it was not emotionless, but it didn't have anything else in it. It was just wrestling. And maybe that's why I do really like having my stories in the wrestling, whether it's one that's just kind of made up in the moment or one that's months and weeks of planning. It just felt like it kind of like on paper looked great, and then it delivered to me a really great wrestling match, but otherwise it was not something that I would note ordinarily. Does that make sense?
yeah, yep,
Yeah. I mean, but great cast, great
yep.
women to be wrestling. Just missed something for me.
Yeah, it was a giant mismatch. The match was good. Just it never enthralled me to a certain point.
Hmm. There was a lack of engagement.
Yeah. Unlike the next match, which really got me into it, it's Hanako
Hmm.
versus Yuzuki. I was really into this match. Like I thought, wrong graphic. Sorry. Absolutely tremendous match. Um, this team's just absolutely murdered it. I don't know how to say this like any better. um, but yeah, like or not teams, these two girls absolutely murdered in this match. My brain is not working right now. like So Yuzuki at the start, she does this thing where she goes like this and does like an arrow, and all I could think was, oh no, in a couple years time, she's gonna be show.
In this situation, though, it would mean she would go to Oedo Tai and not House of Torture, which would be okay.
No. She'll be part of a new faction. That'll just be the House of Torture Stardom.
That would just be Bullet Club.
No, but like the House of Torture will create a sub faction of their sub faction in Stardom.
I think those women are smarter than you're giving them credit for in that. No
So they
woman
go
in her right mind would look at Lil Dick there and be like, yeah, that's an investment.
So they go back and forth early on. Hanako drops Suzuki and just stomps, as JR would say, stomps a mud hole in her in the corner.
Mm.
Then she gets a power slam for two, drop kick to the knee, and another drop kick by Yuzuki gets a one count. Hanako reverses the head scissors into a sidewalk slam for two, then transitions to Boston Crab, but Yuzuki gets to the ropes. Yuzuki hits the head scissors, does that old like old school run up the rope, holding the hand, run up the rope into that bulldog. Uh, um, but Hanako comes back and hits a scoop slam. Hanako gets the mount and just raining down strikes on Yuzuki, just pounding this little girl. I was like, oh, Jesus. Um, Splash in the corner, torture rack. But Yuzuki ends up rolling her up for two. She hits a judo toss. Hanako hits the delayed, comes back and hits the delayed suplex, but Yuzuki kicks it out at 2.9. Yuzuki slips out of the torture rack, and they're rolling around for pinning positions, and Yuzuki just gets the win out of nowhere. And I was like, huh, Hanako didn't win this. Weird.
Yeah, I
And
thought so also.
yeah, Hanako was pissed after the match and threw the referee down.
I mean, yeah, I'd be a little mad too. It was kind of a surprise ending there, where if you looked away for a second, you missed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was definitely unexpected. Of these four women, Hanako is by far the most experienced, the most, I would say, like, has made the most progress. Like, but she's also been around a lot more minutes than the other three. First, the next question: where's Aya?
Who?
Aya Sakurai, the one who came up with Hanako and then disappeared, the one who did the cool kick.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in a hot minute.
I swore I saw her at like ringside like a month ago, maybe, but I don't know now. Maybe it was Yuzuki. Yeah, Yuzuki here that I saw. And not her. I don't know. But yeah, she was the other one who I thought would have been a strong contender for this, unless she's maybe injured or something. Oh,
Uh,
that
just,
face is bad.
just a heads up. Don't just Google Aya Sakurai. You're gonna get a different kind of Japanese actress. Not a wrestler. Yeah.
Um, okay.
Make sure you add wrestler
Okay.
into there because you're gonna get a certain kind of you're gonna get a certain kind of actress if you just look up Aya Sakurai.
Okie dokie. Well, moving on from there. Um, yeah, this is, as I mentioned earlier, Hanako is very by the book, and this is why I thought that she kind of had this in the bag. She's always very safe. She's always very crisp. She's always very well educated. But her speed this year has been steadily increasing since she has started working. Those moves have gotten faster and faster and faster. It's only a matter of time before she becomes one of the most decorated women in this business, because she's so pretty too. And she can, like I said, that variety in her facial expressions just makes her that whole package. But Yuzuki did a tremendous job surviving against her, because in this match, Hanako kicked her ass. And she survived it. Not only survived it, she beat Hanako. That's a pretty big accomplishment right there. Um, yeah, I don't have a whole ton on here. It just Hazuki fought with everything she had, and she survived. I'm very excited to see what all four of these women have to offer this company in the next year.
Yeah. So all I know is I messed up on Google. It's Aya Sakurai, not Sakurai. Yeah, so I got completely the wrong person. No
Oh, is
wonder.
she alive? And she hurt? What is it?
I don't. There's no information.
We'll find out and let you guys know.
Yeah, you
We'll
can.
try anyway.
You can. Yeah, she hasn't wrestled. Actually, the last time Aya Sakura's wrestled was in July.
I was
Is
gonna
that?
say it's been sometime in the summer.
I'm gonna say injury most if she's been out this long, or she just decided to walk away.
Like I said, I swear I saw her at ringside either October or November. So maybe she is just injured, much like Natsupoi. Natsupoi is injured too, and I've still seen her at ringside, unless I've been seeing Ranna. But I
No,
have seen someone who looks suspiciously a lot like Poi in Cosmic Angel's corners whenever Anu has been out.
Well, Poi was at Dream Queendom. She was like
Yeah,
celebrating
so that's
with Anu
probably
after.
so Poi is about, so maybe I did see her. I don't know. If you guys have seen her, let us know. We want to know where Aya is. We are missing her.
I think I grabbed the completely wrong graphic here. So I'm just gonna go like that. We're gonna talk about the main event before we move on to other things because the main event really didn't have a graphic. We're gonna talk about the Donna Del Mundo versus God's Eye for the Triangle Derby finals. But Donna Del Mundo decides to put their titles on the line in this match and defend it against God's Eye, getting a little cocky because they haven't wrestled tonight. So I don't know. So they do all the ring intros when they get to Julia last. God Eye attacks. Guess they're going a little bad guy-ish.
What did I tell you?
Yes, so everyone brawling. Thecla slams Mariah off the top onto the apron. She then hits a dive off the top to God's Eye on the floor. Maya and Julia are hit dueling elbow drops off the top to Mirai. Thecla hits a bridging fisherman for two. Maya then comes in and hits a bridging Northern Lights for two. Maya Mirai trading strikes at center. Mirai reverses the lariat and hits the modified angle slam. Ami with the speed chops on Mai, laser across the corner and gets that really cool splash to the midsection. Really like that move. Ami sweeps Julia, gets a Boston Crab, while her partners get tarantulas on the ropes to Julia's partners. I was like, yeah. And then Thecla getting put in a tarantula, which is the weird part about it all. Um, uh,
Insulting.
yeah. Syuri's in, Julia and Syuri trading hard slaps at center, and Julia actually drops Syuri with the slap, which I will take because Syuri's known for her kicks, not her strikes. Syuri, this is where Syuri unloads chest kicks, but Julia dodges one and hits the release German. God's Eye, Thecla comes in, God's Eye triple team her, and then I think it was Mirai and Syuri. So Syuri usually comes off the top with that famouser she does, but Mirai picked her up, and this really made me think Koji. Didn't make me think Koji, but it made me think of America's Most Wanted from TNA way back in the day, where they had this move where James, was it, I think one of them would hold somebody up, and the other would come off with a leg drop, and it just looked like a flipped over version against it. It was like a famouser version of the death sentence. That's what it was. Look, it was a famouser. It was a famouser version of the death sentence of America's Most Wanted. I was like, dang, I haven't seen that movie in years. Um, Syuri goes up back up top. She gets stopped. Thecla ends up spider suplexing her off the top. That core strength is crazy. Um, then Julia and Mai pick up Syuri to the double electric chair, and Thecla off the top hits the backstabber out of the electric chair drop. Looked really good. Thecla applies a submission, but it gets broken up. And Julia hits ape shit, and Thecla hits the superfly splash to Syuri for two. Thecla inadvertently dropkicks Julia. Then Mai inadvertently splashes Thecla. God's Eye takes them all down. Syuri hits a head kick to Thecla. And it hits that spinning out sidewalk slam for two. Then hits an Emerald Flosion, but that pin gets broken up. Thecla hits the spear to Syuri for two. Gets the O'Connor roll. Then Syuri hits the head kick, then the buzzsaw kick. But Thecla kicks at 2.9. So you're like, God damn, this is great. And Syuri picks her up, gets her on her shoulders, hits the Siu Sekai, which is the sit out side one wing angel. And God's Eye are your new artist of Stardom champions. Yeah. We spoiled ourselves on this one because we watched the fourth show before we saw this. So we
We
knew
did,
they'd won.
yeah.
Yeah, we knew they won the titles. We were like, I want to see how that happens.
Yeah, yeah. They kind of came out with the titles and we're like, eh? Well,
Yeah.
okay. I guess we know now. I guess
Yep.
we know. Koji is
the
very
more you
concerned about my tattoos. He's
the more you know.
not liking them too much.
Oh, Koji,
Oh, keeps
worried about
licking them.
mommy. Worried about mommy.
Yeah. Oh, jeepers, Murphy, goodness. Okay. I didn't have a ton of notes on this match because I just watched it and enjoyed it because, man, it was a trip. But the dive that Thekla did, it was so nice to see.
Hmm.
Onto God's Eye on the outside there. It was just so perfect. She's so good at that. And I did see on her Instagram today, she did say that she's going to be taking a little time off, but she will be coming back to Stardom.
Oh, that
She just
scared
needs
me.
to rest. She Okada'd last year, though. Remember, she worked so hard and she worked that entire year. Girl
Hmm.
needs a break. Girl needs a break. She's got that new nice lip piercing. Maybe needs to heal a bit, not be hit in the face. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that it'll be good for her because we know how her work ethic. We know that I know she's gonna come back. She's gonna come back stronger. Yes, she is. Excitable little puppy today. That one's old, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna get distracted by the dog for the rest of the show. So yeah, I'm not gonna give too much more on this except for I was surprised, but like pleasantly. I have felt not that Donna Del Mondo hasn't elevated the titles, but they've held the titles for quite some time. And we have been kind of seeing the rumblings of this kind of happening with Mai and Thekla both picking up some losses along the way here over the last couple of months. So I kind of felt that it was time for a changing of the guard on that title, not because they weren't holding them well, but because, every time it kind of goes through cycles, and a
Hmm.
time comes where we need to hand off the torch to somebody else. And with Julia potentially leaving, um, yeah, with Julia potentially leaving, it's smart to pull her out of the title contention right now and just put her in banger matches for that strong title.
I agree with that. I was I when the titles were on Gazai on the fourth show when we saw that, I'm like, okay, that doesn't surprise me. Series getting ready to leave. It doesn't surprise me she was dropping the belts. It really didn't. Yeah.
It sucks. But
So
as
we're gonna
long as they don't change her style when she goes
mm,
and they remember why they liked her and allow her to wrestle that style there, you're going to have one hell of a treat.
there will be a bit of editing to have her work for but again, if you look at Io Sky, look at Kyrie, look at Asuka, they still are three of the most dynamic people on that roster.
Mm.
Shinsuke Nakamura too. And like while adapting to a North American WWE style, they still have a flavor all their own, and I think that's what's going to happen with Julia.
I hope so. Because,
And
like,
the best,
the,
and oh,
the thing I
good.
hate about WWE is when they bring somebody on and then not only change their name, which already confuses fans who already know them, like me, who's still calling freaking D-Bry by his wrong name or B-Bry or bippity bop bip boopity bop bip. I don't care. The guy with the braids and the eye patch, pirate dragon dude. Um, they'll fundamentally change their name, but then they'll change the fundamentals of what it is that they liked about them in the first place and wonder why they don't have that magic. It's because
Mhm.
you changed everything. Don't do that.
I
So
think
I hope that is the case here.
one of the few examples of a guy coming in exactly who he was AJ Styles, because he left TNA, went and worked in Japan for a year. We want him. They debuted him in the Rumble, and he has been AJ Styles ever since. Like it was, he was one of the perfect examples of don't change a guy, just let him be. It's the same thing for Julia. Just let her be. Bring her over.
Exactly.
If it,
Remember why you liked him in the first place.
and if you want to change the spelling of her name, I'm not going to argue that. Like if you want to make her Julia Julia,
No.
just to no, but just to make it easy for some dumb people, I won't argue that.
It's not the dumb, it's the uncultured.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's the Italian spelling there.
I agree, but it needs to be Julia. No matter what, it needs to be some form of Julia. Simple as
Her
that.
name is good as it is.
Yeah.
Plus, then it'll give us something to latch onto. Because, like, it's difficult for me. I was such a B. Priestley fan. I am having a lot of difficulties accepting Blair Davenport. Sorry. Not even just the name, but the person, the character, everything. It feels washed. But B. Priestley, one of the most dangerous women in professional wrestling. She's one of my favorite wrestlers before she went to WWE. Makes me
Yeah.
very sad. But yeah, enough with
Yeah.
the rant. Let's move on to this.
So we're gonna quickly talk about the January 4th show that happened right before Wrestle Kingdom. I didn't take notes because just earlier on I took notes for all Wrestle Kingdom, but I just for this one I just wanted to sit there and enjoy the whole show. It was
We were
mostly
also making breakfast at this point.
that too. Or we were, I think we were like eating breakfast at this point.
No, I
Um,
was still making pancakes.
yeah, but like during the early multi person tags, and
Mhm.
we're eating. But like by the time we get to the final two match, we were all sitting down eating and watching, but we're just enjoying. Um, so we're just gonna talk about the final two. So the first one up was Megan Bayne and Micah taking on Julia and Suzuki. This was an absolute banger, 20-minute draw. Like just all four of these women just beating the living holy piss out of each other, and it was so good. Just absolutely
Mhm.
tremendous. I don't have a lot. I have no notes for it, but I just want to really highly recommend checking this match out. But for me, the biggest thing coming out of this match was the post match. So Julia, like Suzu and Bayne, make their way out, and then Julia calls in Thekla and Mai Sakurai with because Mike is still there, and she announces that Donna Del Mundo is disbanded. Like she says her pleasantries about all her friends, and then she disbands Donna Del Mundo, and it broke my heart a little bit. Like I was like, oh, I love this team ever since we started watching this, and just
Mhm.
oh, you killed me, man. And then in the roll call, she does a roll call at the end, and she even she I think she named Syuri and Natsupoi in this.
And
I
Himika.
Hamika, I think she said Mirai. I'm not totally sure. Yeah, she said
I
Mirai.
thought I heard it in there as well, because she was a member of DDM for a little bit.
Yeah, I think she named off Mirai, Suri, and Natsupoi, who three that have left, like flat out left team. She shouted
Mhm.
out Hamika, who retired, and just
Mhm.
it just was this beautifully tragic moment. It just made me sad to see this team go away. But if Julia
Mhm.
is leaving, there's no point in having the Italian named faction with the Italian gone. Um, so
And
I
also
what
played by me, Julia, yeah.
yes, and this allows Micah to go form something with if she wants with Bayne, with Suzuki, with May Sarah. They can become a unit of their own. Theka can venture out and figure out what she wants to do. Same with Sakurai. The ladyship. That seems like a personality hell bent for a Queen's Quest. The ladyship, part of Queen's Quest, makes sense to me.
Prince Quest is kind of a mess in itself, though, also, and it has a lot of members.
Or she can go to
Um,
Oedo Tai.
Oedo Tai also has a lot of members, though.
It's true.
I would personally like to see another heel faction within Stardom because I think right now, just officially, we just have a Oedo Tai. You know, Stars, Club Venus, arguably Cosmic Angels, Donna Del Mondo, God's Eye, they're all faces. We need some heels.
Mm,
That being said, though, I wouldn't love to see Micah heel, but then again, maybe I would. Mm-mm. I personally think, though, if we're talking about faction names, Divine Kingdom would be the perfect name for a faction that has both Japanese native people like Micah and Suzu and May, and then potentially be not a, I don't want to say revolving door because that would insinuate we'd have a Club Venus situation.
Mm.
But I want to have like maybe have them be the welcoming committee, I guess, for out
Yeah.
of Japan wrestlers. Maybe if we're doing that talent exchange with AEW, you know, you take one of our Japanese girls, we'll take someone else, like, name me an AEW person I don't watch the show.
Oh, I would
Just
say
Statlander. I know her.
Chris. Yeah.
She would be great. Great addition to something like Divine Kingdom. Team her with Megan Bayne,
Sky Blue. I
with
think would be
Micah.
bringing Sky Blue over would be a great thing for her.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about that. Heck, I love to see Ruby. I know she wouldn't come, but I'd still love to see Ruby. Be an opportunity for her to be in a different area. We'll have a little different wrestling style, a little different locker room situation. Um, I think it would be great. I think it'd be great for AEW. It'd be great for Storm too. It'd just be great for everyone involved. I could rant about this all night, but we want to hear what Bobby Stats says. Who would he want to see in Divine Kingdom if that was ever a thing?
Yeah.
It seems to like Marina Shriver. Maybe Marina would be a good one. Team go against the Scandinavian Hurricane. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Did you know Ruby Rice was in Stardom in 2015? I just looked it up.
I did not. That was before my time.
Yeah, she spent a couple months there. Hmm.
Send her over.
Yeah.
Why not?
Again, there's so much you could do now with Donna Del Mundo going away. There's so much you could do
Mhm.
to really,
So much opportunity.
yeah, and to see what Micah is going to do. Where is she going to land? Is she going to create her own faction? And
Mhm.
you could, in reality, you could have a Mai Sakurai or a Thekla go with those girls. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so again,
Absolutely.
you never know what's coming. But we're
Mhm.
going to move on to the main event of that show. There was Mayu Utami defending against Syuri. This was an absolute banger of a match. So I got a couple of things I want to say because I was a little bit disappointed that this match wasn't on Wrestle Kingdom, the main show
Yes.
itself. It is your IWGP Women's Championship. Why isn't it not being defended on the biggest show? But after watching Wrestle Kingdom and seeing outside of the Rambo, the top four, and I think it was Shingo and
Tama.
uh, Tama, all the other matches, all the other five matches were all under 10 minutes.
Oh.
Like five of them were over 10, the other ones were 10 or under. So I look at this. These girls would have got 5 to 8 minutes. So actually being on this Stardom pay-per-view at the Tokyo Dome Arena or the Tokyo Dome Hall, which is right across the street from Tokyo Dome, they got 19, almost just under 20 minutes to go out and have a killer match, which I immensely enjoyed. Like, absolute banger. That finish with Mayu hopping off the top rope backwards onto Syuri's shoulders and hitting the poison Ranna and then getting the roll up for the win was absolutely tremendous. But these two, I thought, just had an arguably I have it written down as one of my matches already on my list as one of my matches of the year because this was an absolute barn burner.
My counter to that, what you mentioned earlier, though, with the match not being on Wrestle Kingdom, you're affiliated with this company.
Hmm?
In NJPW's mind, you were affiliated with this company. You had the historic crossover show last year. You had the strong title defended a few times, the IWGP defended a few times. This is your biggest stage, And last year, we had that stage. Like, this was deserving
Oh yeah.
of that stage. And arguably, and I'm sorry to say it, but this match versus the match that we got last year at Wrestle Kingdom for these ladies for this title, mm, this was better.
Oh, by a
This was
long shot.
deserving. But yeah. So that being said, why was this not held to the same esteem? You know, because like I enjoyed Mercedes Monet's debut, but I felt also that it took far more time than it needed to, and
Hmm.
it took time away from the match. We didn't have that this year. We didn't debut anybody this year.
Oh,
When was the last time that we had a big show like that in Japan that featured the ladies?
last year or
Historic crossover.
no, what is it?
When?
The triple threat defense from Monet
Oh,
at Sakura
yes.
Genesis. Yeah,
Was
that
that
was
Sakura
more.
Genesis or was that a Stardom show? I thought that was a Stardom show.
Well,
You're
there was
probably
a
right. But I don't. It's Wrestle Fracking Kingdom, guys. I don't know. I think that this should have been on Wrestle Kingdom. Something should have been made to work.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
that being said, you're absolutely right. This was a banger of a match. Again, better than the one we had last year. And it sucks to say because I love Tam. Tam is such a hard worker and a good worker. But like in comparison to the matches she's had for more important titles, arguably, it was not her best.
Not even close.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Syuri did tremendous in this match. I mean, her kicks with Mayu were just brutal. These women went in on each other. Like we already see that reckless disregard that Mayu is known for, but she was more reckless and more disregarding for her health and safety against arguably in this company right now the most dangerous woman.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add. I'm just gonna sit here saying yeah.
Again, absolutely tremendous match, and like I highly recommend going to Stardom World and checking this out.
100%. Do it.
Oh, um, we've come to an end of another episode of Stardom Review. Sorry, I need to blow my nose. You want to talk?
Are you dying over there? He is dying over there, slowly but surely. It is the weather. We'll always blame the weather. It is currently snowing here. It's not pleasant. The roads are dangerous. And Andre is dying.
Yes, I got a runny nose. But we come to the end of another episode of Stardom Review. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please keep liking the videos, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below, and sharing this video out to all your friends and family. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Bingo.
Hello. If you're listening on a Sunday night's main event radio, please give a like and a subscribe to the podcast feed. We'd really appreciate that. We love it. We love all of you guys. So thank you so very much. You can check them out. See to get my banners at a Sunday night's main event.com or on Patreon at patreon.com/Astronomy Radio. Their Patreon is going to be revamped this new year with new content. New things coming. Me and Mel are going to probably have a video drop on there at some point. Us talking about who we are and why we love doing this. So there's going to be get to know your hosts coming up. So hopefully going to be on that too. So lots of great content coming over there. All the great shows. The regular Sunday show, they cover WWE, AEW, MLW, everything under the fence and sun and whatever you want to call it. Lots of great content over at Sunday's Main Event. Please go check them out. We're so thankful that they've made us their partners. But you can find this guy, me, the Andre, You can find me at Xmaston on Blue Sky and Hive at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can always find me on YouTube.com/ at Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find me when I make random appearances over on Our Local Establishment at twitch.tv/ Our Local Establishment. Um, we're going to be having a show reviewing Echo. It came out as me and Mel recording this. It's come out tonight, but scheduling is tough. Me and Ed have lives, so this may not come out for another week. Just life. Or I might just have Ed do a show on his own for this one, depending on how I feel about this show. We will see.
Wow.
So please check out Marvel Talk over at Our Local Establishment. You can find the replays of all our previous Marvel Talks and our upcoming and their Marvel Talk rebound. Where we did Iron Man. We'll be having the Incredible Hulk Marvel Talk rebound coming out very soon. YouTube.com/ at Our Local Establishment. And one more time for the man, the myth, the legend, my boy, Mike the Ref over at Backbreaker Video, the man who helped me get into all of this years and years and years ago. He unleashed me on all of you. You can check
Are
him.
you?
No. I'm just saying, Mike unleashed me upon the public, so it's all your guy. It's all his fault. Just remember that.
Damn it, Mike.
You can find him over at youtube.com/ at Backburger Video for other great wrestling content. You may be watching us there, so please give the channel a like and a subscribe. You can find Mike live on twitch.tv/ Mike the Ref. All his great gaming content comes on, and it's AEW watch alongs. If you want replays of his gaming content, go to youtube.com/ at Backbreaker_gaming, where you can find stuff from him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, and their freaking guest, Miss Kayla J.
Hello, Jay. Love Kayla J.
Melba, where can they
Yes.
find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Malball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Malball. You can find her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Malball Golf. You can also catch me on Our Local Establishments programming, Spooky-ish, coming out soon once we get some stuff figured out over there. And of course, you can catch us on Our Local Establishment, where we'll be doing our weekly reviews very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. What else? What else? Also, you can find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. You can also catch Astra's New Year on For Your Wear, where you can get a beautiful white or gray, and I think it comes in pink. I'm not sure. I know it's white, black, and gray for sure. Astra Pizarro's beautiful merchandise with the Astrid pose on it. She looks so pretty. Have to wear that more. Yes, on her channel, where we do Ladies Wrestling Showcase, where we talk all things women professional wrestling. I don't know if I said that already. We're saying it again. If you're wanting to watch Stardom Wrestling, we will leave the link in the description box below. It is stardom-world.com. It is 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian, more like 950 according to this guy over here, but that's still an amazing price to watch some professional wrestling. You can go in there and watch the shows that we talked about today. You can go in there and watch last year's Queendom, where Syuri and Julia fought for the World of Stardom Championship. You can go back and watch that historic crossover show that I was complaining about. That was amazing. Where the aces, Utami Hayashishita and Hiroshi Tanahashi, took on the Samurais, Maika and Hiroki Goto. So go check out that. Is that on Stardom?
Done both. I'm just putting up New Japan World if they want to
Oh,
see
okay,
it there.
good. I was like, oh, my dumbass just dumbassed again. Um, Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Never trust me, but I want to thank you all for just tuning in here. Thank you so very much. Please keep liking the video, subscribing to the channel, comment down below, and don't forget to share it out to all your friends and family. Hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted every time we drop a new video.
No.
No, it is way too late at night and it's cold out, so no.
If you're able to be out at this time and ringing a doorbell, you're probably not alive.
Mm.
That being said, I am your mom. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time.